Hello, gentle viewers. This is App Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22 3. Why do I keep doing that? I don't know. I'm a potato, that's why. OOTP 23 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. At least I got the team name right. That's a good start. We are attempting to return to the playoffs after having missed the playoffs for 2 seasons in a row. Oh, no, wait, no, we're not. I made the playoffs. Yeah, and I lost. I had forgotten that intentionally. Oh dear. Yep, that happened. Anyway, we are trying to get back to the playoffs, though, with a new and improved team. So, we still have, arguably, 3 of the best hitters in the game in Sean Hill, Henry Salgado, and Manny Pozo. We also got Johnny Cerulli rocking in right field. And then we've got a couple of newcomers. First of all, we have Chris Barnhart, who we just acquired in a trade, and we're hoping for good things from him. We have Anthony Jones, also acquired in a trade, although he's not as effective offensively. He's really fast and a really good outfielder. We also have Mr. Jose Herrera returning to be our catcher once again. And then the ghost of Clint Daly, who perhaps reminds us all of a time when he wasn't as terrible offensively. Pitching-wise, this is a similar rotation to last year. We have Robbie the Hero, Tony Moreno, longtime Pirate Jose Brown, and Edgar Guzman, while also adding Mr. Joe West in a trade with Milwaukee. And then we have a pitching staff of other talents in the bullpen. It's great. So, can we make the playoffs again? I think that is highly likely. Very highly likely. What we really need to figure out, though, is... First of all, how do we start developing our own pitching? This has been a real issue for us for quite some time now. And that we just have not been able to develop our own starting pitching, which is why I have to spend so much money on acquiring starting pitchers from other teams. I don't have a single starting pitcher under the age of 30 other than Corey McLaughlin potentially. Which is obviously not great. Now, Andres Carrillo may break that streak. I just need to see him throw strikes more regularly, and I'm hoping that a bit more time in the minor leagues will get us that additional level of development that we're looking for. But another thing that somebody very accurately pointed out, thank you very, very much. I have 91 people in the minors. That's way too many people. Let's start swinging an axe. So we're going to switch to... here we go. Nope, this one is fine. This one is fine. This one is not fine. So anyone with the potential of 20... Actually, there's an easier way to, like, cut people, but that's fine. I'm just cutting people left, right, and center. Now, because of the way I have the options set up, it's not like we're being hurt by having too many players in the minors, because they're going to play the regulars based on... based on potential, which is fine. I am down to 59 players. Kyle Izzard still might be an okay hitter someday, but he's 22 and hasn't left single A, which is not ideal. You know what? I am okay with this as it is. I don't feel like cutting extra players right now. But that's a lot of people released and will hopefully help things out. So, one way to get pitching, and it seems awfully early to give up on him, especially because I think Robbie Rodriguez truly has some ability to be an important piece to this franchise. I just don't know where it'll be. And he's really struggled to hit in the minor leagues, so he's definitely quite a few years away. So, are we going to make the playoffs again? I think that's very reasonable. That is a reasonable expectation for this season. Like, I don't necessarily expect Tyler Sanders to be our answer at second base, but I don't think that there is one. The real question this season is going to be twofold. Number one, what do we do with Robbie Giro? My man here is wrecked. So, spending a bunch of money to keep him just seems like a poor choice, but we'll see what happens here. We're just going to let the payroll fall a bit and then see where we get at the end of this season. I really don't want Jesus Moya anymore. Especially not for $23 million. I just have nowhere else to put him. Anyways, let's go ahead and start playing some baseball games. And let's see how we can do this year. Also, if you shop at Kroger, like I do, and you decide you want to try Big K's sugar-free orange soda, it's disgusting. Don't do it. Don't be like me. Alright, so Jesus Moya. Can I get literally anything for you? Nope. So I'm going to pay a salary anyway. So cutting him doesn't make any sense. I don't need the roster spot that badly. If I had his entire contract, can I get anything of interest? No. That is most unfortunate. Nobody wants Jesus Moya. I'm just going to have to cut him because he won't go to the minors, I don't think. No, he's already refused to go to the minors. I can't trade him, so I'm going to cut him. I'm sorry, it's an ignominious way for his tenure to end, but I don't have another option. I don't have another option. I think my goal with Robbie the Hero is to go ahead and do the qualifying offer. Excellent. I have locked up Day for 3 years. Awesome. Oh, that's right. I do have a couple of pending offers, don't I? Maybe Robbie Giro is one of them. No, he isn't. Okay. Jose Brown, I would pay if his contract was up because I do trust him a lot. Edgar Guzman, probably not. Jim Gender, probably not. I might end up having to pay Tony Moreno like $15 million just because, man, I can't lose my entire rotation. And right now the only person I'd keep is Jose Brown. Or theoretically Guzman, but maybe not with him either. I could really use a young starting pitcher or two. Almost more than anything else. I wonder if I can make that happen. Somehow. One of the interesting things about there being so many playoff teams is you're never really out of it. So it's hard for me to say that I'm going to trade, say, Robbie Guerrero. Really, Herrera? What the fuck, dude? And you're, like, playing well this season. Don't cost yourself opportunities, my friend. And I do have a lot of money, so it is also highly possible that I can just pay for a big-time starting pitcher. That's a bit on the younger side. But I think if we're going to be competitive for a couple more years, I do think we need a bit more stability in the rotation. Means a bit younger players. Tyler Sanders is getting better. Manny Pozo is hitting better. Sean Hill is looking a little bit better. Cool. I'm not going to even look at the stats yet. We don't know enough to make any informed decisions. Yeah, Jim Gender, I'm sick of your shit at this point. Alright. So let's check the waiver wire first. Is there an interesting reliever I could bring on board? I don't hate Mike Carter as an option. I don't hate him at all. And I don't have any high-level relievers, I don't think. I mean, I've got Chad Lane, I guess. That's not nothing, but it's not something either. And let's look at Rule 5 draft. Rule 5 eligible players. Here we go. Yeah, I don't really see an obvious choice here. Yeah, that would give us a pretty mediocre bullpen. I think I will go ahead and claim that guy from the Mets. And then I'm going to go ahead and check out free agency and see if there's any relievers that are still looking for a good home. Not really. It's our old friend Mike Turhar. How have you been, buddy? You haven't been amazing, but I wouldn't say no to you if I'm not able to claim that other gentleman. I'm going to go and put Irvin Moreno on the 40-man because I don't want to lose him. But I could just trade him. Like, here's his issue, right? He's not developing. I don't know what his deal is. I mean, he has, guess, his gaining velocity. So maybe I just need to be patient with him. I'll wait to add him until the end of the season because I don't need to do it right this minute. Yeah, I'm just going to claim that guy from the Mets, and then we will proceed. So who becomes my closer if I don't have Jim Gender? It probably is Ryan Brown. I think Ryan Brown is my most loyal and reliable closer among those available to me. So we'll try that out and see how that works. I don't know if there's an obvious choice, like an obvious position I've got a lot of strength at that I could trade to get a reliever or a young starter. I just don't think that there is. I just don't think I have enough high level talent. So maybe that's just what has to be right now. Can you jerks stop getting suspended? That'd be great. Moreno. You're only 31. But you're getting an awfully big extension. I'm definitely not giving you an opt-out, though. I almost feel like time is held onto any particular pitcher that isn't, like, guaranteed to be a top-notch one. Strikes me as spending resources ineffectively. You know, I want to be in pole position for the really good ones and not overpay for mediocrity, which is the trap I often fall into. Really, Mike Carter? Really? I give you an opportunity and you blow it? Yeah, Chad Lane, you can come back. Mr. Ryan Brown, what would it cost me to bring you back? Absolutely not. No. Cease. So here's my interesting question here. Do we trade Robbie Guerrero? We're not bringing him back. That is difficult topic number one, but it is a fact. I'm not bringing him back. If I could trade him and get a haul of either quality prospects or players that are close to the major leagues, that could be quite handy. That could be handy indeed. I mean, I could also get a quality reliever in the draft. That is also a possibility, but I just don't see a ton of value in keeping Robbie. Like, I know he is an outstanding pitcher, but he's not outstanding enough to take $20 million of my money. I would like a prospect package, please and thank you. Okay. I like Jermaine Hurt a little bit. Zach Reed is not that great. Zach Reed doesn't really do a lot for me. You're an okay utility guy, but if I'm trading a starter like Giro, I want an actual like starting player. I don't really need another outfielder. Flores is too far from the big leagues. Wes Phillips would be a pretty awesome designated hitter. Like, he does everything well offensively. The thing is, I don't really need another hitter. Jermaine Hurt isn't good enough. So let's look at a single player, and I would like to look at regulars and prospects that are starting pitchers. Why are you all coming up with starting pitchers? I mean, Sergio Lara is somebody that I did want in the offseason. I just don't think that makes sense. Orlando Olivo is pretty solid. He's not like a genius or anything, but he's pretty solid. Nope. Maybe. Nope. Okay. I like what I see here. Oh, hell no. You almost got me there. I don't like the lack of movement. Otherwise, I think you're one of the best ones being available to me. I like Mike Potty, but I don't love his lack of stamina. Why are center fielders keep getting brought into this? I find that very odd. Jake Swanson is decent. I know I'm kind of being a bit picky here, but I think I can afford it. Hello, Nicholas Cartwright. So, first things first, Mr. Cartwright is only 25. Second, he's also a really good pitcher. Do we go for Cartwright? I don't think Cartwright is enough. So I'm going to try to grab another couple of prospects, if there are any that I can grab. You're an okay utility guy. Like, I don't know that you're necessarily going to be a starter at any point, but I could add you in. Can I get Centennial? Like, I need more. I can't trade a player of his caliber. Yes, he is a rental for only one player in return. Cannot be done. Marco Rodriguez? Really? So Nicholas Cartwright, no problem. But if I had any other person's name into here, you start freaking out. Can I get a reliever off you, then, if you're going to be a jerk like that? Like a Manny Vasquez, perhaps? No, I'm not giving up any of these players for that. That would be patently absurd. I mean, who wouldn't love Danny Trejo on their team? Oh, you are an awful, awful second baseman. No, thank you. I've got to try harder. I can't give up a player like Giro and only get one player in return. Oh, this offers matching team needs. Okay. Well, then let's do this. Delete. Add. Starting pitcher between the ages of 20 and 26. Minimum quality, good. In the majors. Luckily someone put up 2 WAR already, despite the fact he's getting hammered quite hard. Jose De La Rosa certainly seems like a solid choice, but he's already into his arbitration years. I wouldn't mind getting somebody a bit younger. You're only a 2-pitch pitcher, and you don't throw very hard. That makes you a terrible risk. So Juan Espinoza is already 29. But it seems like he's just really struggled with getting an actual opportunity. Because I see no earthly reason why a healthy pitcher is playing so often in the minors. I just don't get it. I really like RJ Padilla, except for the control. I would be very, very concerned about him. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to get Espinosa, and I'm gonna try to get one of the other starters. Damn, you've got some fine prospects. I don't dislike Juan Carranza. I just don't think he's all that good. Would you throw in RJ Padilla as well? And maybe Jose Fernandez? What? I'm asking you for 3 pretty good young pitchers, and your response is only if you throw in Anthony Jones. I'll give you frickin' Canigiani, but he's actually kind of crushing it. I could just add in Moreno. Or a prospect I just don't care that much about. Ooh, Ernesto Turner could be special. I don't want to give him up. If I offered you Francis Aguilla. So let's talk about what we're giving up here. To get 3 very solid starting pitchers, we're giving up Giro, a center fielder who is never going to be amazing, and Sean Rowe, who is legitimately good but doesn't have a position on this team. I will take this deal. Won't I? No, I don't want Fernandez. I'm going to drop Fernandez. And I'm going to drop... I'm just trying to mitigate my risk. That's what my objective is here, to mitigate my risk by acquiring a couple of really useful players. Can I get a reliever? I mean, I'd love for you to give me Luis Mendoza, but you're not going to do it, and he's also got some issues. Can I get Fraser Bartholomew? And what if I offered you Sean Rowe? The kids love Sean Rowe, right? Not enough, apparently. You have, like, a comically huge amount of quality pitching. It's, to be honest with you, quite disgusting. Okay. And if I add Sean Rowe here, I can pretty much name my price. Awesome. You can have the Plowman. Alright. Mr. Padilla, you will be a starting pitcher for us. Oh, you're probably like an amazing reliever, but for now you're going to be a starter. I'm going to send you to the AAA to work on your craft. Espinosa instantly gets promoted to the Major League roster, and then I definitely want Chad Jensen too. The question is, who do I send down to make room for him? Chad Lane, I think. Sorry, it's the no Chads team. We're only allowed to have one. There you go. Yeah, Espinosa strikes me as a really good pitcher that just keeps getting jerked around of late. And I wonder if I can lock him up for like really cheap. What if I did, just out of the kindness of my heart, 6 years? Oops, wrong way. I'm going to make this year a player option year. That's alright. I will just buy you in your years of arbitration. Plus you're durable, which is very nice. Do I also trade Tony Moreno? I think maybe, but not yet. Not yet. I want to see how things go without Robbie, and then we can move on from there. Alright, so how does the lineup look this season? Sean Hill, you're drawing walks, so I will handle the fact you're not hitting for a super high average right now. Pozo's doing good. Chris Barnhart has actually quite sensibly stabilized first base. That's very welcome indeed. Jones is nothing special. Yeah. I'm not getting much secondary production, which, if you recall from the previous video, is kind of what I predicted. Though we wouldn't get a ton of secondary production from this lineup as is. Who is on the trade block right now? Is there a top tier second baseman that one might be able to acquire? Can I get a second baseman for Mr. Edgar Guzman? Not a good one. What if I added in Tony Moreno? What does that get me? I don't dislike Mr. De La Rosa here, but that's not what I'm looking for. You're good defensively, but that's it. Oh, you're not a second baseman. I don't know why you're trying to fool people into thinking that you are. Christian Jackson would be a pretty nice addition to the team. Um, can I get you to add in another prospect or two? Um, can I get one interesting pitcher too? Like Joe Glennon, maybe? Nope. So this is getting me, yes, a bit of a project at second base, but honestly, someone I could just call up to the big leagues right now. It gives me Nelson Villalobos, and it gives me Ricky Sosa, both of whom offer other talents as well that make them somewhat intriguing. Do you have... I mean, why the fuck not? Let's try it. Ooh, Mike Eskew isn't that good, actually. He's a good hitter, but he's not a very good second baseman. No thanks. I like it. Acuna can play second base right now, and he's quite talented. Plus we get enough interesting middle infielders that one of them is bound to pan out. And I'm not giving up much besides Moreno, so I'm gonna pull this trigger here. Mr. Acuna, welcome to the big leagues. Mr. Sanders, goodbye. And then I'll call up RJ Padilla. And I'm going to give Corey McLaughlin the other rotation spot. Like, because McLaughlin just needs the chance to pitch innings in a meaningful way. Yes, I could use Jared instead, but he's reasonably happy already. And I don't like his pitch mix as being ideal. So we will go ahead and let McLaughlin start. And then you're going to contribute as long relief emergency starter. Now we have a much younger rotation. It's hardly, like, incredibly young, But I don't think we've lost a ton in performance, and what we've gained in, first of all, a potentially competent second baseman could be very, very welcome, because he's got good gap power, good contact, and he's a pretty damn good second baseman. Not much of an arm, but I will take that in a second baseman. I think this could be the start of a beautiful friendship between Mr. Acuna here and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Alright, my friends, let us go ahead and continue forward with this particular season. Because I need secondary production, and for whatever reason, Tyler Sanders wasn't giving it to me. With Acuna, I'm getting a better bat without sacrificing much in the glove department. Who is designated for assignment? Oh, Chad Lane is. Okay, we'll send him to the minors then. I'm going to drink a bit of water while we consider. Plus, we're sitting here staring at a lot of payroll space, so if there is a big-time player available, we can get up on it. Ben Toronto, you've never been the closer, nor did I ever promise you that job. That is purely in your own twisted brain that you think you're the closer. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Who is my next best catcher? Really? Yep. I mean, we could bring back Chris Taylor, just Chris Taylor ain't nothing special anymore. I think a Joe Price would be a nice addition to this team. He's really good defensively, and he is an okay hitter. So for right now, Pat Link is going to be the starting catcher. I'm going to go ahead and just finish today because I got a feeling the price will sign quite quickly. Perfect. You go right up to the big leagues. And I'm going to let Joe Price start. I think Joe Price's defensive capabilities make him a bit more valuable to us as a catcher than Pat Link does, at least for now. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, we can get Mike Carter back. Do I want him back, though? Like, he's better than Dan Day. I'll give him that much. And who, of course, I just signed to an extension. At least he's useful at the back end of the bullpen. Let's go ahead and let Mr. Carter get some rehab time, and then we'll decide what to do with him. We have unhappy people. Why? Who is having the roughest time? A couple people just don't like normal people at all. So Dilson Herrera, you're gonna walk. I'm not gonna bring you back. Oh, you're also not up. It's just my hitting coach, who is getting along with everyone, and my scouting director, my team trainer, all of whom are doing quite well. So I'd rather just lock them all up. And if y'all don't fucking like it, you can kiss my ass. Okay? You both get to stay. I actually would like to keep you, Mr. Melendez. I think you offer us a quality hitting instructor. I'd like you to stick around, please and thank you. And then, who else is up in 2055? Ah, Jose Sotillo. Mr. Sotillo, you are quite close to making the big leagues. So I'm going to offer you an extension. And I'm also going to go ahead and bring back Rainero Koa, who has consistently helped us develop some of the best hitters we've ever had. So my friend, we're going to lock you up. Nobody can have you but me. But I didn't think getting rid of Dilson Herrera would help us out a lot. If Dilson Herrera wasn't actually a pretty decent teacher. I don't think any of my... Yeah, none of my current managers would make a good first base coach. So I think we just suck it up for right now. Espinosa, you're supposed to be getting... Oh shit, Dan Day's using velocity. Damn it. Like, at the end of the day, Dan Day doesn't make all that much money, and I think he'll still be useful in the back end of the bullpen, but it's definitely true that we're probably not helping ourselves a huge amount. Keeping him... It's fine. Let's go ahead and do some international amateurs. I mean, Ricky Medina clearly looks like the best hitter, but I'd love to get a really good pitcher if there is one. There is not. Like, if I can't get Ricky Medina, I will look for somebody else, but I think he is the best player in this class. Okay, that is some bullshit. I need Henry Salgado to be playing. Dan McFarland, it's time to step up, my dude. Do you have like a giant hole in your swing against lefties? You're not terrible. I'm gonna let you fill in as the DH until Salgado is back. You know, by protecting Kanagiani from facing right-handed pitching, he's actually hitting quite well. We're getting quite a bit out of him. That's nice. I kind of like the idea of trading Joe West. If we can get... Oh, nice. We did get him. Sweet. Yeah, the idea of trading Joe West so that we can give Andres Carrillo an extended audition in the major leagues seems like a pretty good idea. When's the last time we scouted him? He's losing a tiny bit of his control, but he's got a lot of potential to be a big-time starting pitcher. But Joe West is also quite decent. How much money are you asking for to stay with us? A fuck ton. Okay. 1 fuck ton. Hey. But I really want to give Carrillo a shot in the bigs. That brings me back to getting rid of Guzman. What's the best prospect at any position I could get for Mr. Guzman? I mean, I could get an outstanding reliever, but I don't like that movement at all. You gonna get lit up, my dude. I do like Eric Young. He seems like he could be a nice first baseman if we were ever in the market for one. Let's do it. I feel like we're tearing down a bit more than I normally would have expected, but I think that's all right. I'm gonna let you be a starting pitcher, though. I know I just did this for the purpose of opening up a roster spot for Carrillo, but Carrillo can be the emergency starter and get some experience in the big leagues that way. What is your deal, Espinosa? You're giving up home runs at a pretty ridiculous rate, given your overall talent level. I don't know what's going on here. It's very weird, though. Like, nothing about your track record suggests to me that you should be giving up home runs this much. So, maybe we just let you figure it out. Well, I did want to give Carrillo his opportunity, right? What if we ship Espinosa to the bullpen for now and just see where that gets us? Let's give it the old college try. Maybe we give Espinosa some lower leverage innings. He will start keeping the freaking ball down, which is his damn job. Avoid high leverage, please, with Dan Day. And the rest of you are fine for right now. Also, my lefty specialist sucks. I'm just gonna return him. I bring you in for one freaking job. You got to be really good at that job. How are you actually against left-handed bats? You're not terrible, Steve Kearns. Most importantly, you're super cheap. Then again, DeMar Wells is just a better pitcher than you, so I think we'll give him an opportunity to be our lefty killer. Maybe do some little relief every now and again. See how that works out. Alright. First year player draft. We're picking 38th. Gross. Alright. So I am seeing an exceptional talent at starting pitcher being available in Mr. Ernie Flores. However, when we break down his actual talent level, he's only got 2 pitches. And he's going to struggle with movement. And I think that makes him too much of a liability. I do kind of like Aiden Lofton, but his issue is going to be is his offensive value is going to be driven heavily by his ability to make contact. And I don't think he's a good risk. Julius Tate is a really good all-around outfielder, and that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Jorge Hidalgo, on the other hand, you're perfect. Wait, what? Expectation bullpen? What the fuck? You're like a mediocre pitcher. No, my friend. You will be a full-time catcher in my organization. I think you're exactly what we need. You are exactly what we need. I will happily pay the $2.8 million to bring you onto the fold. These are some hilariously awful shortstops, although at least some of you have some talent. Who do you think I should take, Skander? You want me to take Aiden Lofton, huh? I just don't see it. I don't think he is an excellent choice. I like Humame, so we're going to draft him instead. Are there any good pitchers left? I kind of like Oscar Gallegos, actually. Let's grab him. He's going to be inexpensive, and he looks like he's going to have a pretty good pitch mix. Nobody wants you. I am more than willing to give you an opportunity to play in the infield for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I'm also going to grab Mario Servine because he looks like a pretty special catcher. And you can always use lots of those. Alright, who is the best contact hitter left in this draft? It's pretty much nobody. How about batting potential, you absolute numpty? Alex Cooper, you're in. Next, I'm going to look at pitching potential. And I would like somebody who is a big strikeout dude. I'm going to grab Julian Fultz with the understanding that if we can get lucky with him, we'll be pretty well off. And we're going to grab Tim Booth. Alex Garza. And I guess Jaden Ledbetter. That'll work. Ledbetter, the bedwetter. Alright, Mr. Hidalgo and Mr. Servine, I would like you both to be shortlisted because I could use a catcher with good upside, and either one of you could fill that role handsomely. And you're both college players, which means you should have a relatively quick path to the majors, which will be very good. Like, Hidalgo could be an incredible hitter that just happens to play catcher. And that is always an incredibly valuable thing to have. And it's like he's a bad catcher. He's actually better than Avila was. But what he has is he has his secondary skills that you love to see. Lots of power, good discipline, and very nice gap power. And I think that'll play quite nicely. Alright, amigos. What do we got? Who made it from the pit? Ryan Brown, Manny Pozo, and Johnny Cerulli. That's 3 players from Pittsburgh. Which is frankly 3 more than I thought we'd see. Well, I knew we were going to get at least 1, but... I don't appreciate Johnny Cerulli enough. Like, holy fucking shirt ball. Holy forking shirt balls. The Mains hit 32 home runs at the All-Star break. That is what the kids say. Pretty good. And then... Robbie Rodriguez makes it to the All-Star game from Pittsburgh's minor leagues. Quite nice. Quite nice. How did... You are inviting Cerulli, right? Because he definitely should be there. Johnny Cerulli's redonkulous OPS plus. He's nearly twice as good as the average major league hitter. Alright. Miguel Carter. Yeah, you're nothing special. I'm gonna try to flip you for literally anything. What if I ate his entire contract? Can I get a decent prospect for him? I sure can't. Yeah, I'll just cut my Carter. He doesn't... like, if I can't get anything decent for him, there's just no point in keeping him. How does Jim Adams rate? I would like Jim Adams very much, and I'm sure that to acquire him I'd have to pay a hefty premium. Let's give it a go, right? Like, the worst thing they can do is tell me no. Yeah, and no is what they're telling me. That's fair. That is quite fair. Like, Jorge Mesquita playing out of his goddamn mind is not anything I can deal with, but I have so much money right now. I'm not bringing back Jim Gender. You've burned me one too many times, my friend. Unless you would come back for a very small sum, I'm not going to do it. I don't really feel like locking up any of these relievers except for maybe Ryan Brown. But the problem is Ryan Brown is so bloody good, he's going to cost me a fortune. And I'm not going to pay that much for a reliever. Mr. Joe West. You're durable, you've been effective. But you want 21 million. And since I'm not going to pay you 21 million, maybe I trade you for a prospects as well. Yeah, let's do it. I wonder if I can get a prospect package. Of some interesting players. Okay, Bobby Morales is a pretty good contact hitter with enough home run power that he's not one-dimensional. I don't know where his final position would be, but looks like he'd be a pretty decent third baseman. I could live with the Bobby Morales. Roger Vega is a really solid outfielder. Like, I don't see him having a long career unless he's just a secondary guy. But he seems like a pretty solid outfielder. He's just not a center fielder. Mr. Nasdaq, you are an excellent hitter, but I don't see a lot else here that convinces me that you'd have a huge future at any position other than first base. I do like Juan Duenas quite a lot. He seems like he's a pretty polished hitter. And Ramon Bueno, S. Bueno. This is my favorite package so far, but I want to go through a couple of the others. I'm not going to do it for anything less than at least 150. Elijah Phillips isn't a good enough headliner, in my opinion, to get me to accept that deal. Jesus Ventura is a nice part, but he's not anything special. I've already looked at that package. Nazir Diggs is fine. Ricky Sondrup is fine. This is a very fine package, but it's not like a great package, right? I already looked at that deal. What about this deal? Bobby Delgado is a very polished outfielder. He's not a good center fielder, but he'd be okay in either corner, and there's always use in having good players in the high minors. Alex De La Cruz is also decent. Again, he's nothing special, but he's pretty decent. I don't love Ian Webster, but I don't hate him either. I'd want to see him start putting some more pepper on that fastball, though. Which he has been doing, admittedly. He might be an okay acquisition. And Bob Tafoya is just a throw-in. I don't hate this deal. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Like, Delgado is a very, very polished outfielder. And the rest of the parts there are at least good to interesting. Victor Herrera, though, is way better. Jose Flores is a really good hitter. Israel Silva is nothing too special, but... If you could stick at center, Victor, I would be a lot more excited about you, but you are a pretty good player. And then... Edgar Vega. You have a very interesting offensive skill set. I am somewhat intrigued. Mike Jackson is legitimately a good defender. I could see him having a nice career with us. And Olveda plays all over the place. And even though he's not a top-tier hitter, this might be the winning package. Unless this package is better. Okay. Luis Blanco is a good outfield prospect. But Alex Barba isn't much of an infielder. I don't think I trust him to be a good infielder. And Jose Trejo is pretty much only a third baseman. You are not a second baseman, my friend. Although I do like you a lot, you're not a second baseman. Yeah, no, Wes Phillips is practically a perfect hitter, but the rest of the deal here just doesn't do it for me. I think I take this deal. It's mostly for Mike Jackson, if I'm honest with you. Mike Jackson, if he gets any kind of talent bump and is able to hit, he could be a starting infielder in the very, very near future. So I think I'm going to take this package. I'm going to see if I can't get more, of course, but I probably can't. I probably cannot. Let's just sneak in Juan Vigil. Okay. I had to try. Okay, I had to try. I like but don't love Ken Hicks. I also don't think you'd give him to me. So I think I pass on that. You don't want Jermaine hurt. You don't want to give him up. I guess that's fine. Alex Estrada's not much. Arturo Bugarin is useful. And you're saying it's really close, but I don't really want to give anything else up if I don't have to. I'd rather take a lesser prospect than spend a bunch of resources to get mediocre ones. Sotelo, no. Baker, no. Sergio Laro seems decent. Really? You think that highly of Mr. Laro? Oh, I'll take Alex Urbina if you are willing to give him up. But again, I don't want Urbina badly enough to give up any other players. Oscar Ortega, I might put in a bit more for, because I do want an interesting third base prospect, but that's not happening. Okay, cool. Cool story, bro. Yeah, we're getting into the levels where I just don't think anybody here is going to be worth acquiring. I think I'll just pull this trigger. This seems good. Oh, damn. Apparently Joe West was secretly, like, a gigantic asshole. I didn't realize that. Nice. So... I'm gonna call up Chad Lane. And I'm gonna let Espinosa go back to the rotation. And then Chad Lane's gonna do some middle relief shit. It's gonna be great. Anybody else worth trading? Like, I know I'm really cutting things to the bone right now, but I think the return will be worth it. Especially if we can get a couple solid bargains or something of note in free agency. Cerulli's contract just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. But, I mean, he's got a chance to be the first 50 home run hitter that the Pirates have ever had. I don't know how that's not worth it. Let's think about it, right? Remember, $8 million is basically the price for a war. He would be underpaid at $20 million. What I don't want to do is I don't want to get trapped with his late 30s, basically. So what if I just call this a 7-year deal with no opt-out, but with team options? And I just want to double check this before I make the offer real fast. He is in fact an Iron Man. Nope. And to get you to sign this, if you get 500 plate appearances, I will fork over another $1 million. You'd want a no trade clause? Alright, I'm just going to give you a flat 5-year deal. Because I don't want to get trapped with you in your decline years and pay you a bunch of money. Tell you what, 5 years, no trade clause. There's actually a 3-year deal with 2-player options. I don't mind that either. I'm not giving you the opt-out. But if you would take the rest of this, then I will... Yeah, this seems good. I still might get caught with some of his decline, but I mean, I'm... In 2060, I'm going to be done anyway. Probably, so... I feel reasonably good about that deal. Reasonably. We need to get Salgado back. I think that's going to have a pretty big impact on things. How's Joe Price doing? Joe Price is playing pretty piss poor. So I think we just go ahead and let him go. Bring Herrera back. Let Herrera start. Okay, that's done. I wonder how much longer until Salgado is ready to jump back into it. And we got Johnny Cerulli. We locked him up. I'm okay with that. I am very okay with that. And then we get big man Henry Salgado back. That is massive news. Dan McFarland hasn't played poorly, but he's just not frickin' Henry Salgado. There's only one of them. I should bloody well hope that you're well rested. Let's see you start murdering baseballs. Just killing all of them. And it'll be great. Wonder what the chances are of us somehow making the playoffs still. Like, we've got to be in the conversation, right? You're not going to be in the starting rotation either? I don't know why you're just constantly whining, but I've had enough of it. I can't spend $14 million on closer. I physically am not able to do that. No matter how good he has been this season, he hasn't been that great consistently, and I just can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry. I'd love for you to stay. We'd have a big party, and it would be amazing. But no, I can't do it. I can't spend $14 million to bring you back. When I can get, like, a reasonably good closer for pennies on the dollar, and be pretty happy about that. Okay. I'm going to check the standings, didn't I? Didn't mean to check the standings. I'd never heard of Fred Chapman before, so I did not know that he made his debut at the age of 14. That's wild. So there's 8 playoff teams. I think we're in. Weirdly enough, even though we've kind of done a mini sell job, I don't think we're worse off. Don't lose power, Johnny Cerulli. Not after I give you that big contract extension. I mean, Willie Lana is gradually improving to the point where he might throw strikes every now and again. Chad Lane is losing velocity. That's fine. I can't do much about that. So I check out the standings, right? Yeah, I am most definitely in position for a playoff spot, which I sure as shit didn't see coming, but all you gotta do is make it, right? All you've gotta do is make it. So if we can heat up, that would be very much appreciated. I wish I had a middle infield or a reliever of any note. I would add the shit of him to the Major League roster. Mr. Rebellar, I'd like to promote you, please. Mike Soto's a third baseman. In fact, let's go ahead and shift him over to that starting now. Alright, Robbie Rodriguez is... He's just not hitting. I don't know what his deal is, but he is just not hit at all in the minor leagues. I'm going to keep him in A-ball because I don't want to send him down, but that is somewhat disconcerting that he just can't hit. Like, I know the man says he projects, but I'm not seeing that he's projecting. I guess he's not bad. He could stick at third base potentially, but he is very far from the big leagues, which does make me a bit sad. Let's go ahead and call up somebody. Manny Carrillo, I think, could be a decent choice. And I guess I'll bring McFarland back, and McFarland can just be like a dude. You're now getting middle relief, avoid high leverage. We're going to see if Mr. Carrillo here can carve himself into a quality career as our lefty killer. We'll see. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and use Ben Toronto more often, as well as Mr. Salgado here. And then lineup-wise, let's go ahead and generate some new depth charts. This is all fine. And then here, also fine. Chris Barnhart getting it done. He has been quite the treasure. He and Canigiani have been a very effective 1-2 punch this whole season, giving us about 40 homers from the first base spot. 42 in point of fact. Yes, it takes you 2 players to get there, but it's still 42 homers. And you can't argue with 42 homers. I don't care who you are. Well, I guess you could. I suppose I shouldn't say that you definitely can't. Only one player in the NL Central is out of the playoff race. I mean, let's be realistic. The NL Central is the best division in baseball, I think. We have 5 of 7 teams have 80 wins or more. That's pretty insane. I would be winning either of the other 2 divisions if I were in there. And I'm the 5th best team in our division. So, yes, I feel pretty good about ourselves. Damn, Barnhart, look at you busting out a cycle. Very nice. Did I draft you? No, I traded for you. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Aw, Cerulli. Man, I was hoping for 50. Maybe we'll hit 2 home runs, though, in this last game. Maybe? Let's find out. Did you hit 50 home runs, my young friend, Mr. Cerulli? 49. I guess that's fine. I'm joking. I am over the moon, and I believe that is a new team record for home runs in a season. Let's find out, though. We want team history, history index, leaderboards. Oh, sorry, we want to do, no, that's not it. It's leaderboards. Well, maybe it's teams. And then the Pirates. And then we want batter leaders. Who has the most home runs in a single season in Pittsburgh Pirates history? Oh, Johnny Cerulli we had 2 50 homer hitters in Pirates history. Both of them Ralph Kiner. Damn, I didn't realize that. Although Johnny Cerulli in 4,000 plate appearances is almost 5th all time in home runs by a Pittsburgh Pirate. That's pretty bonkers. That's pretty bonkers. And he broke the single season RBI record for us, which is pretty good. Walks is 4. Sean Hill was 4th all time in walks last year. That's pretty awesome. All right. Well, my friends, let us check out our playoff roster. I think we're probably good to go. It feels like kind of a dick move to leave Dan Day off the roster. Then again, Dan Day was nothing special. In fact, he was not good. So I don't mind him not being on the roster. Pitching, I will just kind of let the chips fall where they may in terms of who pitches which roles. Because this is frickin'... Yeah, I mean, we made the playoffs. So as far as I'm concerned, this season counts as a success. If I somehow manage to make it to the second round, amazing. But I'm really just looking to get into... I'm just going to kind of coast and see how things go. Well, they lit up Jose Brown, which makes me sad. I was kind of hoping that Jose Brown would have my back. Did Brown actually pitch badly? He did. I definitely got smacked around by the number 12 offense in the National League, which is kind of embarrassing. And we're done. Yikes. Yikes. I mean, it's hard to say that you're going to do well when you only score, like, 1 run. But I figured our pitching staff would at least be good enough to keep us in the game. Wasn't, though. That's fine. We're coming into an off-season with a gigantic pile of money sitting in our bank account. And in return for all of that money, I have a pretty young team now. Manny Pozo is truly the old man on the team, but that's been true for a couple years now. Am I talking myself into sticking with the Pirates longer? Maybe. They want you to be their pitch coach. Well, I want you to stay with me, so here's some more money. I mean, I guess if I don't get a Hall of Famer by 2060, I might have to do it. Ah, we're retiring Andres Avila's number. Good. You know what? I give you crazy props for staying in the minors as long as you did. You are truly a man among men, and I'm proud that you played for me. You're playing in the Indies? Oh my gosh. This is a man that loves frickin' baseball. But yes, 100% happy to retire his number. 10,000%. Haha, Cincinnati, you thought you were hot shit all season. And no World Series for you either. Wish to see the Seals had a cooler logo, but I do think that the Miami Seals is a cool name. It's not as cool as Portland Skyhawks, though. That is pretty badass. Even if it looks like that they were just like a bunch of team executives sitting in a Denny's and were like, what's a popular team in the Pacific Northwest? The Seattle Seahawks. But we'll call ourselves the Portland Skyhawks. Diabolical. So I don't know what to do if Clint Daly hits 300 again. I'm not going to find a better starting, a better offensive shortstop. I almost said offensive lineman. So I'm going to go and execute his option, and Jose Brown is going to come back. We're losing some people to retirement. Oh no, not Dilson Herrera, the one nobody could fucking stand. I am utter heartbroken. So, the new manager... Huh, I'm gonna have to find some better managers. Alright, I want somebody who is amazing at development. To be my manager. Ronnie Gideon, I'd like you to become my first base coach for the Pirates of Pittsburgh. And then Mr. DaCosta, I would love to promote you. If you would take a promotion. Mr. Butt, I think you can be promoted. Yeah, I should just try to bring in really good outside managers. Get you... And then offer Mr. Cody Freeman. Oh, I guess I already have Cody Freeman offered to a contract, so we'll do that. So how grumpy are you with me right now, Mr. Owner? Oh, that's amazing. Well done. I think the owner is broken now. How can I upgrade at first base again? How is that goal not considered achieved? I mean, whatever, I guess. Alright, how did the team go this season? What went well, what didn't go well? I mean, Manny Pozo, as long as you keep putting out 6-win seasons, I will happily keep signing these checks. You're transitioning into a bit more you're clearly losing your skills a little bit, right? A lot of your counting stats are lower. Now, 28 home runs is the most you've hit in a long time. Last time you had 28 was 2051. And you're still playing very good defense. I mean, you're everything I wanted at third baseman. I am happy that you're on the team. And yeah, you just keep producing top quality seasons like this, and who knows what might be calling for you in Cooperstown. I think if you top 300 homers next year and can get at least into the 2,700 hit range, I think you've got a real chance at it. you don't have a ton of individual awards. I mean, yes, you're a 6-time All-Star, but other than that, you're just a really good baseball player. And there is nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. You're just really freaking good. And I'm happy about that. Sean Hill. I can't keep you as a leadoff man if you get 33 homers. No wonder the rest of the lineup was struggling. You were stealing all the runs for yourself. But yeah, you are an outstanding player. I just wish you weren't as bad in left field, but I will take it, given your offensive talent. You are a good in. Then we got Johnny Cerulli with his 5 WAR, slugging .609, leading the league in ribbies. He might get some MVP consideration. I wouldn't make him one, but I could see it happening. Henry Salgado only gave us 4 WAR because he got injured. Otherwise, he was actually ahead of where he was last season. He is a really damn good hitter, and I'm proud to have him on our franchise. Let's not miss Jesus Acuna. I said I wanted to upgrade at second base in the offseason, and we grabbed Acuna, and he so far looks like a keeper. The man gets on base, he hits for a decent average, he steals the odd base, and oh, by the way, he plays a pretty stinking good second base. And he's 24. So Mr. Acuna has proven to be an excellent piece for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Clint Daly produced almost 4 wins. This is close to one of the best years of his career, actually. Yeah, his rookie year was pretty awesome, too, but he just hits for contact and plays defense. That's really his entire game. It's a good game. Mr. Chris Barnhart was an excellent first baseman for his first season. Loved it. I'm very eager to see what he can do next season. Jose Herrera was a bit down, but also got hurt. And he's only making like $1 million a year, so he only has to produce like half a win to be financially worth it. Kanagani had a very nice bounce back season once I basically took him out of the lineup. I'd rather get a part-time first baseman crushing home runs in an effective way than basically forcing him to play every day. Dane McFarland was productive. Alex Mancia, not so much. Which is a real shame because he was a pretty good piece in 2054. And I have to imagine that there is a middle ground between these two seasons. But it might be time to move on from him. Pat Link, similarly, is... if he's not going to tap into that next level offense, he's never going to be a solid backup catcher. So I'm going to need to make a move there in the near future. But other than that, this was a top-tier offense that played really, really effectively from the beginning to the end. Defensively, let's see how we looked. Clint Daly was phenomenal, and Alex Mancia was phenomenally bad. The rest of the team ranged from okay to genuinely great. Anthony Jones was not amazing. I still think center field remains to be a solved problem. Alright. Juan Espinosa, I will happily offer you a contract. Oh, I didn't look at pitching yet, did I? Let's get that done. Pitching stats. Teat. RJ Padilla turned in an excellent season despite the fact he didn't start for us all year. He was mostly in the bullpen. Juan Espinosa was fine. Jose Brown really took a nosedive And Chad Jensen was literally awful. We might have to cut some deadwood out. But Andres Carrillo, Corey McLaughlin were both productive, if not top-level productive. Ryan Brown was an excellent closer. So we have some good arms. We maybe just need some better ones if we're going to be successful. So Juan Espinosa, you provided nearly 2 wins of pitching talent. I think that deserves a raise. Well earned. Welcome back to the Pirates. RJ Padilla. Yes, please. Not yet. Not yet. But you're close, my friend. You are very, very close. Chad Lane, goodbye. Yeah, I'm not signing to a long-term deal, Gender. Get fucked. Ryan Brown wants $14 million. I'm not going to pay that. Ben Toronto wants very little money. And you were productive. How's about this, my friend? How's about a 2-year deal? Okay. I do like having him back in the bullpen if we can manage it. Mr. Maisie, I cannot offer you a contract extension. I can offer you one, though. Mr. Tim Barbeau. How much longer am I stuck with Mancia? When can I non-tender him? Next season. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So that's all that taken care of. Anything else we want to do before we wrap it up? I want to sneeze, apparently. We have a very, very competitive team. Very competitive. We need a couple of big-time arms in the rotation, as well as a couple of decent ones in the bullpen. Dan Day, you suck. You suck pretty hard. We could also honestly use a bit of an investment in the bullpen, not like a gigantic one, but enough of one that we can add a couple of useful arms. Like, if I thought Jim Gender had a 1% chance to stay healthy, I would definitely sign him. But he doesn't. For whatever reason, Mr. Gender, you cannot stay healthy. So, I'm not going to get suckered in. If it comes later in the season, in the off-season, and you want to sign on, by all means, we can talk. But for now, not so much. I'll offer you a minor league extension. That seems pretty simple. But yeah, a disappointing season, but not really. Because what we did is we got a much younger rotation that just needs top-line talent to get over the hump. And in particular, we have a dynamic lineup, and we filled the need for secondary production. Offensively, I still think we need a new center fielder. I think that is a role we need to fill. I would love a big-time defensive center fielder so I can then just bump everyone else down. Like, imagine 33 homers if we're not hitting leadoff most of the time. 33 homers, 70 ribbies screams man who leads off because no one else was the best for it. Although Acuna might get that job next season. Potentially. I think he would be a very fine leadoff man given the opportunity. Because he does get on base at a reasonable clip. But yeah. Pitching-wise, we just need big arms. That's what we need. We need to be in heavily on any young pitcher that is deemed worthy of the role. I think that is probably the most important thing to spend money on, other than that big-name center fielder, like I said. If we can get that top-tier center fielder, look out. I also want to definitely dig into the relief market. I want to try to sign 3 to 4 relievers. I would even pay a bit for a closer. I'm just not going to pay for an improved one like Ryan Brown. I'm not going to pay him $10 million. I want to keep him thinking about coming back to us. I'm going to offer him a 3-year deal for $5 million a year. You know what I'll do? I'll give you Jim Gender money. I think you would earn it more than he ever would. And then I'm also going to add in that as long as you throw 50 innings, you get another $1 million. And see... Okay. This is just me talking to him so that he doesn't forget about me. But I have a feeling he's going to have quite a robust market. If he is fortunate. Let's cut this all the way down to $3 million and then we'll talk. But again, this is just me keeping things in mind. And seeing... Nope. He's pissed with me. That's fine. He can be as pissed as he wants. We've got Ben Toronto coming back potentially, so that's one bit of good news. But yeah, it's going to be all pitching staff all the time next episode. That's what we've got to do. We've got to get big talent starting pitching, no matter how much it costs us. If it means another Tommy McDonald, it's another Tommy McDonald. We've got to upgrade the bullpen because one of the things I've noticed is that while there's lots of top-tier hitters in every market, it's harder to find the elite the elite relievers. So we're going to have to scratch our heads a bit and put things together for that. Probably going to add some people to the 40-man. I think Irvin Marrero still has a potentially very bright future. I think he just needs an opportunity. So, Mr. Moreno, I'm going to go ahead and give you... I'm going to put you on the 40-man now so I don't forget. And then I'm going to let the GM do what he wants with you. Germán Dominguez is definitely 40-man roster material. He's really good defensively, actually. If he were a little bit better offensively, I would even give him a shot at winning the outfield job, but at the very least he's a good backup outfielder. Because I think Chico Wakamura's days have come and gone by now. He's losing contact, and that's just going to make it nearly impossible for him to justify his salary. Unless the rest of his game is just really top tier, which it has not been. So, that's going to conclude this episode. I hope y'all agree. I'll probably just trade you. Probably not Blanco, though. I'll think about it next episode. But for now, this has been Ab Guardian. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I bid you good day.